Setting clients' expectations as a real estate agent. Real estate transactions are just like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. There are many different parties involved who each have motives and interests as well as timelines and challenges. One of the main responsibilities of a real estate agent is to organize all the pieces without letting one party step on the toes of another. This is like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. Agents want to make sure the client has successful expectations. They typically do this by setting and managing expectations before the process starts. Agents typically struggle with how to balance their time as coordinators of chaos, giving clients context and timelines for how to generally expect the process will play out, while also balancing their time by working on an actual transaction. Towards the end, if all pieces of the puzzle add up, then a successful transaction should have taken place. Managing expectations can keep clients from feeling betrayed by you. When a client tells you their frustrations with the process, it is important to acknowledge them so they feel heard and acknowledge what went well. This can help build trust between you and your clients. So if you want to know more about this, then this video is for you. For today's video, exclusive for our core members, we will be sharing with you how you should set your clients' expectations as a real estate agent. Errors in communication can often occur when an expectation of the client does not align with the reality of a situation. These problems in communications can be prevented by ensuring that expectations align with the situation, leading to better relationships and more successful business. Dealing with clients in the real estate industry can be tough if they don't have good understanding of the market. Clients might not know realistic prices, or they might believe they should get unrealistic price for their house. Any miscommunication can lead to lost potential and make it harder to sell properties. In order to keep your clients happy and maximize the level of communication between you, here are a few strategies that you can employ. It is critical for agents to remember that the general public does not know what they don't know in regards to real estate transactions, as most of their information comes from social media and the internet. Most clients now believe that buying a house should just take half an hour like they see on TV and have unrealistic expectations. Agents know better because they get information directly from the public. One of the best things an agent can do for their client is to walk them through the typical transaction process for a given property. They should also provide a broad overview of what will look like. We highly advise that you do that overview at the outset of the business relationship. At the beginning of your talk, ask the client what previous experience they have had with real estate transactions and if they have any preconceived concerns or objections. Then, give a broad overview of what to expect in a typical transactions, such as current registrant, registration requirements and restrictions, title searches, financial options, and credit scores. It is important that you let clients read your report later on so they can understand how everything will work at a later date. You will have to determine how detailed you want to be in your overview. It is helpful to consider topics such as communication during the transaction, condition of the property, marketing, negotiation process, timelines, transfer of ownership, etc. Customize your presentation to fit the concerns you must often encounter with your clients. It is recommended including at least property access, financial outcomes, and potential roadblocks from contract to closing. To be effective, it is important to know how your clients prefer to communicate. They may prefer an in-person meeting or a phone call instead of sending an email. Being available at the times they're most available will allow you to work together more efficiently. Be sure to introduce yourself and answer any questions a customer may have. For example, what are my hours of operation? When will you call back? Be consistent, your customers will respect this. If they need to email you something, follow up by phone with a brief summary of what was said during the conversation. When speaking with potential customers, be clear about your availability and follow up emails with phone conversations to be sure you don't forget any details. Clear expectations will allow both you and your customers to be more successful in the future. Reiterate to clients that no question is insignificant. You're here to guide them through the process and want to be their trusted, lifelong real estate advisor. Be welcoming and open, encouraging them to be frank in their discussions. Sellers and buyers need to have a clear understanding of who can and will have access to the property. Before agreeing to sell your property, realize that there are many things about the selling process that you should understand, such as when and how often it is necessary to inspect a house, whether or not you can have surveillance cameras installed, and if you're required to leave the premises when a buyer arrives. For buyers, they need a clear understanding regarding booking showings and the implied commitment of time that appointments have. Buyers also need to know how often they will be allowed to inspect a property, who can make on-site visits, and what things can be done to the property, if any, prior to closing. For successful transactions, it is important to determine who will have access to the property beforehand. Something as simple as including this information in a contract can make all the difference between successful and failed deals. Sellers and buyers need clear expectations about how their financial situation will be impacted by the decision. For many people, their home is their biggest financial investment, which means both parties need to be prepared to give and receive space. Agents should prepare a seller net sheet for their sellers. The seller net sheet should include things like anticipated costs it will take to sell the property against the backdrop of anticipated market value. It is true that agents can't anticipate every expense, but there are certain expenses sellers will most likely encounter. Agents should prepare their sellers for those preparations. When advising your buyers, show them all the expenses involved in a transaction. Be sure to educate them on loan costs, contract fees, inspection expenses, and any other costs. Buyers can also negatively affect their ability to perform on a contract from a financial standpoint with decisions they make before or during the process. Please consult their lender beforehand and get advice before they make any decision that might impact their credit or the loan process. Very few things can make people happier or more upset than their money. Do yourself and your clients a big favor by preparing them for as many of the financial outcomes of a real estate transaction as possible at the outset. Some buyers and sellers don't have realistic expectations when they first enter the market. They could also have mistaken opinions about what your role as a realtor is, how fast they should buy or sell a house, or what they should settle for in price. Some clients' expectations come from watching reality television shows about home makeovers and flipping properties. It's amazing the number of misunderstandings that can be avoided if you simply ask your client directly about their expectations right off the top. By asking your clients what they expect, you can address problems before their assumptions get out of hand. It is best not to correct their thinking, but simply relay the realities of the market as it is today. You can tell them that their expectations are unrealistic. They might be a little deflated when they hear this, but it will prevent their anger and frustration from going on too long. When meeting new clients, ask them about their realities before starting the process. From your first consultation to the closing day, make sure the client is aware of their responsibilities in each steps and answer any questions they might have. Be proactive with your clients. Give them regular updates on the properties they're interested in, such as how many showings they have had. You can also provide information about the milestones that would be reached before completion of a purchase. For example, you may be able to FaceTime or Skype with your buyer to preview a home for them. The internet is a powerful communication tool that has information available instantly. However, with so much false information in the world, it has become skeptic. Out of all the misleading and inaccurate realty content on the internet, there's an issue about the accuracy and validity of online real estate articles. Websites are the newest way to find information about buying or selling a house. However, some of those websites have false information. Even the information is out of date or completely inaccurate, it can cause a headache for a realtor because clients might think it's accurate. To prevent them from going online and clicking on anything, offer advice to them. Advise that much of the information on the internet is either false or harmful, but if they want to find out any more, you should be consulted first. Sometimes it can be okay to summarize what you read on the internet in order to inform them. When you're working with a client, they will often be making the biggest purchase of their lives with you. Other clients feel like they're letting go of the home that they lived in for many years when they work with you. They might be nervous and uncomfortable, so it is important to build a foundation of trust. Make sure to stay in contact with your clients even when there's no new information to share. Be genuine with them and know a little about their personal life, especially what they do in their free time, and be aware of how they are as a person away from work. Create stronger relationships with your clients by maintaining contact with them. Your relationship will not only be strong, but they will also listen to and trust your advice. You should prioritize your relationship with clients because it is beneficial to both you and the client. True to the saying, under-promise and over-deliver. You should work with clients in real estate by under-promising and over-delivering. Don't mislead potential buyers by giving false hope about house prices going down. Don't make false promises about lowering prices, and don't get caught up in the excitement with clients who are buying expensive property. Too often, potential home buyers get caught up in the moment and forget to research prices. Never say that it's a good time to buy when it might not be. Don't heavily imply you can talk down the price of the property when you can't. It is important to always tell your clients the truth, even when they would prefer a falsehood. It is important to keep things realistic with your clients so that they have a smoother ride and are more trusting of you in the process. You are an agent who has a lot of experience in this trade. You know many of the tricks and secrets, and you have a lot of knowledge about the ins and outs. Your clients probably don't have as much knowledge of this topic, but you can share it with them so they can use your expertise to make smarter decisions that will provide for their families or businesses. Your realtor can be a valuable resource for clients, and if you understand their fear and are empathetic to their situation, you can provide the best advice to help them feel supported. You should take the time to hear them out, identify their source of fear or concern, and empathize with the client so that they know you care about what they're going through. To be most helpful, explain to your clients how they feel and reassure them that you'll work with them through difficult times. Let them know that they can count on you for answers, and if questions arise at any time, always ask. Empathy is one of the most important traits in real estate or sales jobs. If you understand your clients' situations, you can best help them. Clients who are new to real estate often have a limited understanding of the market because they lack the knowledge that comes with experience. The internet provides clients with an abundance of information which is not always accurate. Clients have been misled on internet sites and TV programs by coverage of inexpensive or fraudulent deals. Pricing is offered in many homes at a negotiated rate, but most home buyers prefer a specific budget and will try to make unrealistic offers. Owners of Castle Smart share this opinion. This misunderstanding can often lead to frustration on both ends. The buyer might be upset when they are unable to negotiate with the price, and the seller may feel that their asking price is too low. The process of buying a house for most people is based on their personal preference, but there are some buyers who purchase houses at below market value prices. The person selling the house must also decide whether they will accept the low offer or not, along with the potential consequences. Clients should be made aware of their credit score before buying or renting, since it can have a big impact on how much they can afford. They also need to know what the average cost of houses are in their desired neighborhood and whether they're willing to buy or rent. It is important to also find out what the current fair market value is for the house they currently live in. When listening to your clients, be certain that you're actively paying attention. They often do not know what they want and will be unable to articulate it when they do. It is up to you to pay attention in order to hear the message being conveyed. One good method of doing this is repeating what you think you heard and confirming its accuracy with the client. If a client currently has a 3-car garage, don't automatically assume that's the size of garage they want in their new house. It is important not to count on observations to guess what your client might want in a new home, and instead start asking questions about what their needs and wants are. It is easy to forget how complicated a real estate transaction can be without experience. Sellers may be selling their property even if they do not want to. Buyers might also be downsizing because their children have moved out. It is an emotional experience, and your clients have more outside of this transaction to deal with in their lives. By having empathy for what they're experiencing, you will become a more effective agent. When you are presenting, you should be prepared for problems the client might not have thought about. For example, sellers and buyers may have different expectations of what they will get in the final contract. New properties are not as exciting because they don't typically come with conflict. The goal of a property is to get them to the closing table, and they tend to be easy. But the fulfilling part is when you've gotten through it and closed on a property. In order to best help buyers and sellers, an agent needs to prepare them for the things that can happen during and after a contract is signed. When most transactions don't make it past closing, it is because of something that has happened after the property went under contract, such as inspections or repairs negotiations. Preparing for potential roadblocks before they happen may not stop the issues, but it will prepare you to handle them if they come up. For example, being prepared for a car breakdown is better than having it happen on the side of the highway. People will typically handle situations if they have time to prepare. The more you can prepare your clients and manage their expectations, the more success you're going to have as an agent in your real estate transactions. The customer's opinion is not always correct, at least not in the details. Of course, their overall desires are important as well as their hopes and needs. It is up to a professional to manage their expectations and will make them aware of the reality of the real estate market. Showing you're open and honest will result in the best possible chance to understand their expectations and help them in reaching their ultimate goal. Managing client expectations is an essential part of the business. If they're comfortable and informed, they're more likely to return. These tips will help keep your clients happy through their experience in real estate investing. That is for this video, core member. What do you think of the steps and tips we've shared? When are you going to start, if not today? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like this video. If you think that we have delivered value, please share this video with one person. Just one share is enough for us, for you to show your appreciation for the commitment and hard work we all put together in creating this video that teaches and helps you in your mission of building your own fortune. And you don't know that one share could go a long way. And keep in mind that no matter how many times you're going to watch this video, you won't see any results unless you take action. Goodbye and see you with the next one.